Hi everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel and another paper crafting video tutorial. Today we're going to be creating some adorable plant pick tags using products from the May 2025 release from Mama Elephant. I wanted to do something a little different today. I do a lot of Christmas or holiday themed gift tags, and I thought the products from this May release were perfect for tags that you would create. Like if you're going to go pick up a plant for someone, maybe you just want to brighten their day. I've had a friend do that for me in the past. And you want to add a personalized touch to a tag, or maybe it's somebody's birthday and they are a plant mom or dad and you want to gift them a new plant. These sets in this release are perfect for that. So I'm kind of sizing down the card quote, if you will, and we're going to do gift tags instead today. We're using 3 brand new products from today's, May's release, and they are the Build a Potted Plant, the Plant Picks. Each of these have dies that coordinate with all of the images in each stamp set, and then the new Line Detail Frames, which includes 2 new frames and this wonderful tag. I love when Mama Elephant includes a tag in their sets. We're also going to kick it back to the April release and use the Handmade Labels stamp set, goodness, I can't talk, here a little bit later. So here you saw me take those tags that I die cut from some Nina Desert Storm craft cardstock. I've also die cut the tags from some ivory cardstock from Simon Says Stamp. And we're going to lay out all of the images we're going to use. This just gives me a very good visual. Where am I at? Where am I going? What do I need to fill in? What do I need to stamp multiple times? In this case, it looks like I am going to only need to repeat stamp the potted plant, or the planter, if you will, 3 times. Everything else is going to get stamped once. If you want to fill it in with multiple leaves and flowers and all of that, you could restamp some of the other things. But I think for the size and scale of the tags, we're going to keep it a little bit more on the simple side. So here I am stamping these images with black ink on the craft, and I've never stamped them before, so some of the images didn't stamp great. If you have stamped with clear stamps before, you know that first time you stamp them, often the impression maybe isn't as great. Plus, I really, really need a new black ink pad. If you know, you know. I need to get that ordered, and I keep forgetting. But the Misty makes it so you can stamp things multiple times in the same place, and it's perfect every single time. Then I am going to start my coloring. And because I'm coloring on craft today, one of my favorite things to do is to color with a white pencil for anything that is white, because I don't have a white marker. Pencils are so forgiving and a great way to color on craft cardstock. I am really obsessed with coloring on craft. This phase has been going on long enough that I don't think it's a phase anymore. I think it's just something I really enjoy and I love the look of. But it does make white coloring a little bit difficult. So you're going to see me color in my images here with the white pencil and then Olo markers. The Olo markers I'm using today are all going to be listed in the description box below the video here on YouTube, as well as on my blog post that coordinates with this video. So if you're wondering at all which exact colors I'm using, you can find that information there. Or if you like to use other alcohol inks for your coloring, you can use similar colors. Now, once I have my coloring done, I will be adding some white highlights with my white pencil. I've zoomed in so the coloring is a little bit easier to see and view here. And I am going to speed it up just a little bit more than my normal sped up coloring, simply because it is a lot of repetition of the coloring, and it does take a little bit of time. I will say that these tags, though, came together in no time at all. Once I had the blend on my leaves the way I wanted it to look, I did go in with an even darker color, and I'm adding in the veining, and I am not going to blend this out. This is to give the leaves some really great texture. Not only are they going to have this dark veining down the center of each leaf, but I will go back with a white pencil then and add some veining with my white pencil once all of the ink has completely dried. One of my favorite things to do when ink blending is to use an aqua or teal color in my greens, and I have actually not tried that with my alcohol ink markers yet. And so today I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to try that, and I'm going to color the tips of these leaves with the teals and aquas and then blend in my greens and see what I think, because it has to be the same thing. And you know what? It is. I love that look. So that is going to be something I am going to use again and again, because I really did love how that turned out. I am going in with some dark green down near the base. I don't love it as much here as I did on the veining for the big leaves, so I did blend it out. I do like the shadow, though, that it provides down there near the bottom. So let's go ahead and color in our other big green piece. You'll notice each potted plant is going to feature like some greenery, maybe a flower, but then either a flower or a decorative plant pick, I guess is how I want to say that. So the hummingbird or the bumblebee, and then each will feature the sentiment plant pick. And I picked Thank You for Helping Me Grow, I Believe in You, and Aloe You Very Much. So I love you very much. I thought those were really cute and fun and very general, like just kind of an anytime type of sentiment, perfect for gifting a plant to a friend or loved one. We're going to be coloring in each of those plant picks as well. While the majority of my coloring for these images is lots of greens, and then I'm pulling in the color, obviously for the hummingbird there, I mixed several colors to make my hummingbird kind of bright and colorful, and then the traditional colors for the bumblebee and the white pencil for the bumblebee wings. I'm going to pull in color for my plant tags. So those are going to be either in teals or reds, or red oranges, I guess I should say, just to give that little bit of pop of color, because it's a lot of greenery, it's a lot of neutral, which is great and what I love. But I felt like a little pop of color here and there would really draw the eye in. Now, before I go to the potted plants, which to be completely honest, I was still contemplating what color combo do I want to use here. I am going to go in with my white pencil, and I'm going to be pretty generous with my highlight or veining for these leaves, because the white pencil is just beautiful over your alcohol ink coloring. And I love the effect that this provides right over the top. So I'm kind of just copying what I did with my dark green in this case, but then I'm going to add some little highlights to the hummingbird, to the bee, all of that good stuff. I'm going to add a little bit darker orange to the center of my flower, and then we're going to color in our planters. For this, I love a deep dark blue. Again, this was my attempt at pulling in some color, but still kind of staying within this very serene color palette, I guess, while still providing that color. I love a bright blue planter, or not bright, I shouldn't say bright blue. It is more of the royal blue, but almost has that dark navy-ish tint to it maybe. So I'm going to work on getting a blend here, trying to keep a highlight area The great thing about alcohol ink markers is you can go over a section as many times as you need to kind of get that look that you want. So you'll see me do that several times there. And then if I do want to match the same feel that we have for the rest of the images, and we're going to add our highlights instead of with a white pen that I often do, but with my pencil today. So just drawing those in, and then we will die cut everything. Now, before we start assembling the tags, I decided let's take our tag bases. And I have this grid stencil from Simon Says Stamp, and I'm just going to line them up on my magnetic Glassboard Studio mat. And I have a paper pouncer and some white pigment ink, and I'm just going to do a messy background. It's not going to be an all over background. You'll see that there's lighter areas, imperfect areas, just to give a little something to the background of each tag. Then we're going to take our tags, one craft and one ivory tag, and place them back to back. And this is going to give a very clean, beautiful finish for your tag, as well as give it a nice bit of structure. I feel like it's a little bit stronger this way, and it's going to hold up. So let's go ahead and do this for all three. And I'm just doing a nice little bit of liquid glue all over the back. And then I am using my Glassboard Studio magnets to hold those down and in place while the glue dries. The white pigment ink will fade just a little bit as it dries, and I like the effect on the craft a lot. Then we're going to build each of our little scenes within the plant. So I'm going to glue in the greenery, the pick, and the sentiment pick. And one of my favorite things about this set, and Mama Elephant is very good at this, is that their dies, if there is something that where you stick, in this case, like the plant you want it to be inside of the planter, it cuts a little slit there so that you can tuck things down inside. They're critters. They can often hold different things. So they are really excellent at doing this, and I love that about their dies. I'm going to add emphasis to the hummingbird eye with a black pen, and we're going to build the rest of our little planter scenes. And you can see now that I've placed one of the images on the tag, why I chose to not overfill each of these, because they do take up a great amount of the tag. And I think if I had overfilled each of these planters, it really would have kind of overwhelmed the tag, if you will. If you're going to place this on a card front, maybe you want to add extra greenery or extra floral picks or something inside of each of these planters, because they will hold more than just the images I'm showing here. And you could always take the tag, if you don't want to use it as a tag, but you like the tag idea, you could adhere the tag then to a card, and I think that would be super sweet as well. Okay, for the bumblebee, I also added a black accent to the eye for my bee. Okay, final steps. Before I add my ribbon, I remembered, oh my gosh, you want to use the Handmade set from April 2025's release to stamp a little something on the back. So using my favorite black ink, if I don't need to color anything, it's the Nocturne ink from Simon Says Stamp. I am going to stamp from the craft room of, and then on each of these, I am going to sign my name. That way, these are ready to go the next time I grab a plant and send it to someone. Then I have this wonderful velvet ribbon from Tim Holtz that I am going to simply thread through the top of each of these tags with the way this it's got that luggage tag kind of look up at the top. I felt it would be perfect for a wide velvet ribbon, and I thought this green just really fit the vibe. And so I am going to thread my ribbon through, pull the ends up and knot it. Now, I knotted it too far. It was probably kind of a silly thing. So I am pulling out my little knot and I am going to redo it. And then I'll just snip up the ends. But look how beautiful that looks. Sometimes I have a hard time figuring out what to do with my velvet ribbon, and maybe you do too. These tags are perfect. You could make all kinds of beautiful gift tags. Even this green, take some of your favorite Christmas Mama Elephant stamps and make some gift tags. You could use the red ribbon. If you're looking for summer projects, maybe you want to take red and blue for patriotic Americana type of tags. You could make some cute little tags with this die for the upcoming summer holidays, maybe Memorial Day or the 4th of July, whatever. And you could use these to decorate different aspects for your summer parties. The final step, of course, you guys know, I thought, as I looked at these, I thought I was done. No, I need a little heart on each. So I took some white clay hearts and added them to the planter. And that is it, friends. My tags are all done. Thank you so much for joining me today for these Mama Elephant plant pick tags. The supplies I used are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much for joining me today for another paper crafting tutorial. I love being able to share with this incredible community of crafters. I want to give a huge shout out and special thank you to my amazing Patreon members. If you're interested in joining Patreon, please click the link in the description underneath the video here on YouTube. Patreon is a private community where you can support more of what I do. There is exclusive content, information, and behind-the-scenes content. Top-tier members will receive a handmade birthday card during your birthday month, access to D-Stash, and monthly exclusive lives, plus so much more. We would love to have you join our growing community.